really stood out to me today is the fact that the people that are coming here, they are people you see every day on the street that you would never think are hungry. Families, individuals, those who are in positions in their life where they may not have ever expected to be in. Imagine it's not just the homeless on the street, it's families. These are our fellow New Yorkers. Everyone who came here today, they're New Yorkers, and for us, those who are willing and able to help, I feel like it's more important now for us to take away that food insecurity, that we really need to focus on that in order to get New York City back on its feet. We need to focus on its people. Being able to be here today, I feel so privileged that I'm able to be able to help in this way and to help my neighbors and to help New Yorkers. So I'm really grateful that I was introduced to St. Francis and that I can be a part of this.
Well, I see that a lot of people are in need, and they really rely on St. Francis and the community to help them get through day to day. I do as much as I can to give back to the community, because I know that one day I'm just going to make someone's day better, or even if it's just a small sense of charity, I know that it's going to make a very big impact to someone. More than ever, we all need to combine our efforts to do what we can to help each other through these trying times, because things are not getting better. As far as raising money, I can actually see where the money goes. Everyone that comes to St. Francis really rely on them for the basics, and supporting St. Francis is helping many people in the community, not only in New York City, but other boroughs. So.
When I was given the opportunity to be at Women of Valor, I think that's the first time I read into the details and read into everything that St. Francis has been doing for so many years. I think it's a great cause, because giving your time or food or donation to people that are in need is helpful, but kind of creating your own network so that we all can do it together. It's not just one person's responsibility, it's all of us coming together doing this for the betterment of the community. The government can only do this much. I think if we are fortunate and blessed to have things in our lives, we should try and help as much as we can in our own little ways. I want to say a huge thank you to my parents for giving me the education and the values that I have. A huge thanks to my husband, daughter-in-laws for all the support and love. Shout out to the great team and clients that I have that make me shine. And thanks to Vocon and all my mentors for the opportunity that they've given me over the years.
I think that people fail to realize that the individuals that come into the pantry are people just like you and me. There are people that we sit next to in the train, on our way to work. There are people that we pass by in the streets on our way to lunch. There are kids that play with our kids in the playground. I actually come from a background where growing up, the community I lived in, I got to see people that struggled, and I went to school with friends who struggled, and I saw how organizations like this one were able to help them, and I see how much St. Francis dedicates its time and resources to helping people. You never know what people are going through, and maybe something that you do might make all the difference without you even knowing it. So if I can do something to bring a smile to someone's face, then I am more than happy to do so.
To me, it's very interesting that we are in the greatest city in the world, and New York is so rich in so many ways. And when I walked over today to come here and volunteer, there was a line of people waiting for about 45 minutes to come in and get food, which leads me to understand even more that the last few years have been very difficult for the most vulnerable New Yorkers. So the work that St. Francis is doing is so important in just being that thread and that support for all of these people. Like, this is my experience in one of the food pantries. There's 40 food pantries that are spread all over the city, and I can only imagine that it's the same amount of people that are showing up. Individually, we can probably not do much, but if we come together as a community, which is what we're doing with this event, coming together as a community, we will be able to have more of an impact and continue to support this work.
I think it's definitely a wide range of people that come into the pantries. It may be stigmatized, but when you're actually within this environment, you actually see how anyone can fall in hard times. So from that aspect, that's definitely been eye-opening. To say that we all work in a city of vast wealth, to come into this situation and see people, the most vulnerable people in society who are struggling, it's definitely a great experience in that sense to not lose sight of that. I've been so impressed by the volunteers today, just in terms of how efficient they are, how they all work together, and as you say, this isn't their full-time job, but they do in addition to that. So I think that's amazing that these people are willing to do this on a frequent, regular basis to help the community, and I'm in awe of them. It's brilliant. Charities such as St. Francis do such an amazing job for the community. I think in terms of the world currently right now, in terms of the economy, we're still recovering from COVID. So this was already an issue, and it's just compounded that. So I think, institutions such as these are more valuable than they've ever been to help vulnerable and the less fortunate in our community.
I think this is a wonderful organization. I think the service they're providing is incredible, especially considering, the times we're living in right now. It's so hard to watch people struggling. I think it's incredibly important. It was wonderful to do this. I got to speak with a wonderful woman who's been volunteering here since the 1970s, and to hear about how she's formed relationships and she gets to know the people. She's gotten to know the people who come here on a regular basis. It was wonderful, and to see there are people who know there are things they like and they don't like, and to see that there's a table where people can trade for the things in their bag. All of this was wonderful to see. And so I think it's really important to be able to support the community and the people living here.
Today was really impactful. It's really special for me to be able to bring my daughter, who's 8 years old, with me today. Not only is it a lovely thing for us to be able to share together, but to be able not just to give back, but to also pay it forward and to educate my daughter that we all could use some help sometimes. And it's been very magical for us to be here. I get emotional because living in New York City through COVID, and we never left, and we watched how the city sort of changed around us. So to be able to help out in any way that we can is more special and more important than ever. We all could use some help, and so if you can't donate your time, then donating any way financially really makes an impact for these people who might be struggling a little bit. So when you see it firsthand and know what the difference that you can make, it changes you.